Well, hello, my name is David Wagner. I'm the Global Vice President of our service provider business at Stellar Cyber. By the way, Michael is not only a veteran, but a combat veteran. So first of all, Michael, I want to thank you for your service. So you've chose the Stellar Open XDR platform, not just a SIM, but a variety of solutions put together in a single platform, but it's also open. How has that allowed you over the last 4 years to keep up with new technologies as they hit the market and become the next big thing?
The beauty of what I really love about Stellar Cyber and this open XDR technology is it gives us the ability that when we're choosing the next technology, we're choosing the next thing that we believe our channel needs, our partners need, because we're hearing it from them or we're seeing the threat landscape evolving in a way that we know we have to find some sort of compensating control or some way to address the attack service. We know that this open XDR framework is allowing us to do our job quicker, more resiliently, and really at the end of the day, just in this partnering relationship that we know this feels a lot more like having a family, of a distant extended family, if you will, as we're two different organizations. But this idea and this framework of what Stellar has put together has absolutely made our job so much easier in going to market quicker and not having to worry about something that's pinned in so tightly that we now have to worry about, well, can we even integrate and will you even integrate? The answer that we get from Stellar is yeah.
Why would they choose you over another master MSSP? There are a few competitors out there that do what you do, but obviously you have almost 1,000. So you seem to do quite well. Why do they choose you over other master MSSPs?
Well, let's look at the obvious reason. It's got to be for my magnetic personality and my charming good looks, right? No, it's never really about that. What it's about is the fact that we're all about doing this with somebody and not for somebody. We want this to be a team effort. We want them to accept responsibility in the ways that we know they need to be responsible. Their clients need to be responsible. We need to be responsible. And by the technologies that we've chosen in the relationships that we've built with manufacturers like Stellar Cyber, like Cylance, like all of the other ones that we've picked, we want to be subject matter experts. So we're not trying to be the jack of all trades, trying to be very purposeful in what we're doing. And again, it's really important that they understand we're doing it with them. And we have to do our job. If I'm not going to make you sign an annual or multi-annual agreement, we better be really good at what we're doing because my good looks aren't going to keep you around.
So Solutions Granted offers a complete wide variety of services. How do MSSPs and more importantly, their SMB end customers decide which ones are most important with a limited budget? I don't think they can afford everything, or maybe I'm wrong.
No, and no one can. I don't care if you've got $1 million set aside or $100 million set aside or $10,000 or $1,000. Everybody's got a limiting budget somewhere. And so you can't afford everything. What we really try to do is base and help our MSPs in their decisions based on education, understanding where they've already made investments, how we can maybe help them enhance those investments through some best practices, configuration changes, or even putting that ever watchful eye on top of that technology where it's like, hey, instead of doing people, process, and technology, you started with technology. Well, now let's add some people and process to it. Once we get past that and we really understand where they're at, where they want to go, and how committed they are to it, then we can devise a plan. And we can come up with some ideas that say, if it's me and I'm spending your money and I'm looking at it like it's my organization and the thing that I'm most worried about, and I know you only have a finite budget, here's the thing I would do first. And then with that information, we empower them to go back and make a well-informed decision. And hopefully it aligns. And it can't always, because look, I'm fallible. I make a lot of mistakes. If you want to see somebody make mistakes, follow me around for a day and you'll see it happen. And I'm open and honest and willing to admit the mistakes that I'm making every day, but we're doing it with the intent because the purpose of what we're trying to offer these MSPs is a sense of security for their customers so that they can survive the next attack.
So do you do this ad hoc one by one with each MSSP as you recruit them, or do you have a formal security assessment and you build a security maturity roadmap, if you will, on how you want to proceed and build different offerings?
No, we do it one by one every time. And the reason is like when you think about and you go back to that earlier comment of, hey, I've got MSPs that are just starting out and they've got one client with 10 endpoints. Well, they're in a far different space in their journey, where you've got that mature organization that maybe if they've got 10 things they're trying to accomplish before they feel like they're in a really good place, they've already done 7 of them. Okay, well, let's talk about the 7. How do you enhance the 7? And then what do you do the next 3? You can't get that through just a simple form or an onboarding document. And what I believe and what I think and understand is time is the most valuable asset that we have. And what better gift can I give somebody than the time to really understand who they are, to listen where they're at in their journey and be a part of that and show them my commitment by giving them that time. So we try to make this a very collaborative, again, I've said it before, we want to do it with you. We don't want to do it for you.
Okay, but that brings me to my next question. We don't want to do it for you, but you also have an incident response team. And a lot of these guys, they rely on you to monitor, alert, and alarm, and even help remediate to a certain degree. But if something really bad's happening, you have an IR service. Can you tell us a little bit about how that works?
Sure. So comes kind of in 2 flavors. Obviously, you have an existing client that's already on board with you, and you start to see an event or a compromise take place. And so our team is responding. And I stay a little bit away from the words of remediation, because remediation is this really big word that gets just overutilized. And it's that idea of people give meanings to words, words don't give meanings to people. And so too many people think, well, you're going to do my remediation, which means you're going to do everything. And the idea is we can't do everything. There are parts of remediation. Well, most of remediation is a very big team sport, and it requires collaboration, not just from my team, but from your team and the end user. So, if it's one of those, then, what we're doing is we're investigating it, we're mitigating it, we're stopping the bleed, if you will. We're stopping the exfiltration, we're stopping any additional contamination or destruction. From there, after we've done those deeds, then we come back to the partner and let them know, here's what we've seen, here's what we know, here's what we believe to be the attributing factors to what caused this, and here's what you need to do next. It could be as simple as changing passwords. It could be as simple as saying, hey, why aren't you using MFA? We know they got in. This is how they got in. Why are you not using a really great anti-spam technology? Why are you running around with naked Microsoft 365, assuming it's going to protect you? Why did you not have conditional access in place and business email compromise took place because they came in from Nigeria? I mean, what's the business reason that somebody should be logging in from Nigeria? So a lot of what we're doing in incident response isn't just about the action of containing the fire. It's also about educating to make sure, maybe not the most popular analogy, but I think it's one that definitely fits. As my father was a cancer survivor, he had to get tested far more frequently, and he had to stay on top of it to make sure that he stayed in remission and he didn't come back. Once you've been compromised once, you have to stay on top of it. You have to become more vigilant about your cleanliness, about your cyber hygiene, about everything that you're doing to make sure that you don't get reinfected. Because there is a big statistic of numbers that show a lot of people don't do anything. Very few people do enough, and they just get hit again and again because they didn't believe the first time was going to happen. And well, what are the chances lightning is going to strike twice? It's a pretty good chance if you do nothing.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for what your service. Thank you for what Solutions Granted has done and is doing. And we'll help you continue to spread the word. What a great partner you are. And I look forward to having future conversations with you about these topics. So we try to keep organizations safe. So
I
thank you,
greatly
Mike.
appreciate it. Thank you very much, sir.